Cool. I think we're live. Thanks for checking out the VOD. Hold your ears for 1 second while I make an adjustment. All right. This may be the only stream for this week, just because it's my birthday week, and and Jasmine's taking me to a little sort of off-site birthday thing for a few days. So, ooh, music's loud, huh? Turn it down a little bit, and then I'll ask chat once they get in. Yeah, so anyways, hopefully you're able to hear that. Hey, XV, Swanee, Chili Sauce, Code and Caffeine. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Zukin. Alright, I just popped out, grabbed latest. Let me read something really quick. Hey, Dan Leon. Alright, so I've grabbed latest. Means I should be able to go back in game. Let's try that. Tonight, I'm just going to continue just some population work. So probably be a lot of me staring at just the other monitor. You won't see a ton on this one, maybe. Or I might pull some of those tables over every once in a while. And yeah, so basically I've got placeholder mobs in, or I've got placeholder spawns in. What I need to do then is make the actual NPCs, put them on in NPC spawn groups, encounter tables. I think I'll always say encounter tables. It's funny. Encounter tables is like 20 some years ago, but I can't get used to the new term. Hey Marcy, thanks for the follow yesterday. I saw the notification over here on the activity feed. Hey Tsunami-san, what's up, Lich? Yeah, I'm streaming today because I will not be here Wednesday, and I may not be here Friday. We'll see. What's up, Dargith? Lasava, did I already say hi? Fielder. So anyways, make the NPCs, get them hooked up to NPC spawn groups, hook them up to the appropriate placeholder spawn point that we have in. Make sure they have abilities, make sure they have got an appropriate faction set. Though I'm kind of sloppy on factions sometimes, but we'll come and clean it up at some point. Stuff like that. Off camera, I've worked on a couple islands that I'm not going to show you, just because they're kind of cool and you really haven't seen them, so they'll stay in game as a surprise. Kuzo said, hello from the forests of Pennsylvania. What, you on a little vacation or something? What's up, Bill? Redorana? House husband? Gunner Wolf, what's up? I'm not wearing green. You can pinch me. Yeah. Here, I've got a green amulet of. See, you can tell it's green because you can't see it. I've got this here for protection. Oh, this is a nice little spot down here. A little sneaky spot to hide something, maybe. What's up, Talet? Drew. Pre-vacation, heading to the hunting camp to lay some gravel on the roads for next month. We'll have big troop of friends visits. Week after the playtest. Oh, that sounds fantastic. week before the playtest. Either way. What's up, Death Rider? Man, I really am not a good data work kind of guy when I'm streaming. It really requires a lot of just not really like hard concentration, but enough concentration that it's not my favorite thing to do on stream. But I've just been busy with it and didn't think of anything else to do. So, and it needs to get done. There's a lot of this that needs to get done. So, what I could have done, but I was really pushing to try to get this other island done as much as possible before the stream, because I didn't want to show you on stream. And so my focus was just like getting everything set up and getting it actually, getting it hooked up. And then that ate up all the time that I could have spent doing the data setup for one of these other islands. So, but I'll find a groove. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do something weird. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Robert? MMO Pug. What are the chances of flashing out resource gathering and building? I know it's not necessarily what MMO originally set out to do, perhaps, but I think it'd be cool if it went well beyond what we saw in EQ, if that makes sense. Oh, we're already on that. Coding Caffeine. We grabbed a new designer. I think if you're in our Discord, you'll see, hold on one second, set up my commands. You'll see Rift running around in our Discord, and we've got him focused on gathering and trade skills and stuff, and like building up better dependencies between trade skills, looking at all the progression with trade skills and with harvesting, and yeah, just crazy knee deep, totally focused on it. So I think we should be covered on that end. Marcy said, I found out about Eminem last week and have been scarfing every ounce of content I can. Super excited for my first playtest next month, bringing 5 other loved ones for a classic XP party. Awesome. Yeah, it'll be cool to see how that goes. We should be having a surprise stress test before then, so keep an eye out. We've really got to check and make sure everything's good to go. When we do the playtest, we'll have more servers up, so that always helps. So not everybody's jamming into Night Harbor on the same server. But yeah, hopefully everything's nice and stable for you guys. You enjoy what you see. And we'll continue polishing until then. Hey, thank you, G. Willikers. Coding Caffeine, did that answer your question? Let me look and see what level range we're working here. You know what? I'm not going to do this island. I'm going to do a different island. But yeah, the 2 islands I was working on outside of the stream, I think you guys will have fun with. That's why I don't want to show you. Yes and no. I'm wondering about animations. And it's all going to be required to be instanced for homes and the like. Let me think of what you're asking here. Animations for trade skills? In harvesting? Hey, Doggeroni. And in terms of house instancing. Our houses aren't instanced. They're in the world. I mean, at some point, if we just really, we find that we need additional, like, instanced little tenement buildings or something for you, then we may do something like that. Who knows? But, at the moment, that's not the plan. Marcy, this is a very relaxing zone. Yes, it's a pretty one. So there's a plan to allow folks just to build in certain locations. We'll predefine. You know what? Here, let me see if I can get into Night Harbor. If you own an inn, can you rent out rooms? Yes, if you own an inn, you can rent out rooms. Let me go to Night Harbor and show you. I might have to like kill the client and go back in. I haven't had the best luck zoning in the last little bit. I'll show you how like housing and like renting a stall, if you want to like do a little flea market style merchant setup for the day, works. Hey, Cod. So it'll be set like predefined locations, I guess is the short answer, but I can also show you. Are there any man-eating sharks? I need to put shark placeholders in. Thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna put I'll put some shark placeholders in, some sea serpents. I also want to put in water wisps. Very curious to see what our wisps look like underwater. And I think a water wisp would be fun. Okay, I'm the only person in the zone, so I don't mind changing time of day. Speaking of zones, I've been wanting to ask you about the ocean. That ocean shader texture going to stay that way? Yeah, I mean we'll tweak it. There's some strong opinions on like reflectivity and watercolor and things like that, but as you guys see my frame rate coming in here, one of the main things we're looking at right now in Night Harbor is just perf, looking at performance. We've got a new programmer on the team, Pablo, aka Paul, is coming to us with some good Unity experience, and he is like just focusing on performance right now. Now, people aren't going to be building houses from scratch. In theory, we can support something like that. We would predefine a plot, and we would just set up a one of our statics, which can have multiple states, and we could easily have it so that you could, you know, build the house. But so it is doable. We haven't done it yet, but it is totally doable to have multiple states. Husband said, okay, I was gonna say it looks nice. I know your vision is more old school textures like EverQuest, but the ocean looks really nice. It complements the world and its textures a lot. Yeah, we make exceptions here and there, like skybox, you know, water and things, just to kind of keep it interesting. At the end of the day, we just care about what the overall composition looks like. Hey, Sna. Frankenbeans, don't let me forget to do some sharks and sea serpent stuff. I'll do that next, actually, and as soon as we come out of here. What about connecting multiple plots together? I think that's just a call of like who owns what where, right? Would be cool to find hidden plots. Yep. Well, the way we've got housing set up is so that you can actually find. Here you go. This is what Nick does, so that he tries to beat you guys to the grief. Like he tries to grief us before you can get the opportunity to grief us. So here is Nick is QA destroyer. We have specific guild hall plots. Yeah, we'll have specific guild halls. Large asses breaking your immersion. Breaking your concentration, Frankenbeans. But Luark, yeah. So like we'll have a lot of just weird variety, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of like one-off structures and things, and some of them will be more geared towards individuals, and others geared towards guilds. Within the, basically within the permission setup for your property, when you rent it, you can set who's going to, who can get in and all of that. Ambient spec Samsung? No. This was literally him just typing in the word ass in giant letters. So as a reminder that we need to be able to prevent you from doing that. All right, so like if I go up to one of these are kind of placeholder, but I go up here, I grab this guy, or I click on this guy, and it gives me information about it. All right, all of this, all the values are placeholder, all that, so don't freak out about 7 plat and all that stuff. Is there a limit on property ownership so you can be a slumlord? Yeah, there'll be a limit. Just be, over time we may change that if we find that people aren't, if it's not being used a ton or whatever. But for now, we've just gone into it with a finite number of properties that you can have, I think, per account. Current Caffeine says, over the years I've grown fond of games like Valheim, for instance. I'm hoping to see something like what we had in that game, in something like M&M. I mean, we're gonna kind of skirt the line a little bit, but it won't be so freeform. I mean, who knows in the deep future, the kind of stuff that we may be able to go back and recommit to or something. But for, the current vision is much more constrained than that. So anyway, so I can click this, I can take the notice. See, I have a notice item now. I put that in my inventory. Right? I gotta go see Suhib in the night market. Landlord trade skill, that'd be interesting. All right, so, and then I can just rent out this area right here as well, right? So if you want to come out here and you want to set up some of your display boxes and stuff so people can look at what you have, they still have to interact with you. You have to actually deal with them to sell, but you can put display boxes with your items in it so they can see what you've got and ask you questions and stuff. Housing plots locked behind faction grinds. Yep, absolutely doable. What's up, Helmet? Who else popped in here that I just saw? Thought I saw somebody else pop in. Anyways, yeah, so you can rent the space for 24 hours, or you can get you can get the like monthly rental there. Excuse me, where is Suhib? I see those little market stalls on RP servers going to fortune tellers, pop-up bartenders hawking stories. I could see that. It'd be cool if you could set up like a little table that's got little games of chance as well. Hey, Justin Beard, happy St. Patrick's Day. Where is Suhib? I haven't actually gone looking for him before, so I'm going to cheat. Go to... Where is he at? Here? Cool. Let me fix this name really quick for Ollie. I am fairly certain Ollie put this in, so let me fix this. What am I doing? Database. Wait, not a new one. I've already got like 5 instances open. Oh. Don't look. I just said that so you guys would go back and try to find that spot in the VOD. Let me find Sahib. Thanks, Lich. Sorry for the getting off topic, but I want to play M&M with my wife. Will it be locked to the box server since we'll be connecting from the same IP? We've got to talk about that more. I'm gonna say no, and then we'll follow up on exactly what the implications are. Because this is one of those ones that we kind of go back and forth a bit on, not us, but like within the community. And I understand the concerns and all the implications and all that stuff, but I'm personally I'm speaking personally. I'm personally not a fan for the overly restrictive sort of approach on that. Let me find Suhib and fix him really quick. Hey, Dargus. In my humble opinion, and it is the humblest, Suhib. The night market realtor. We'll let that all stand as. I just need to. I need to fix his. All right, I'll have to reload zone for that to update. Interesting. We had something to do with P99 crew. Had to do something with P99 crew to get clearance. Don't remember what you did with that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what people have had to do for that in the past either, but like I said, I get it. It's just maybe not the ideal approach. All right, so I went all the way over to this guy and I didn't actually get my damn apartment. I was too busy fixing his name. Can't wait to get more signage. Make it a little bit easier for you to find stuff. Don't have enough money for that. Ooh, I'm broke. All the gnomes gold went to server costs? Yeah. All right. I have purchased the property. Oh no, server's coming down in 30 seconds. Server's been up all day until now. Alright, so here's my house. Make your house public? No. Add co-owner, need a target. I thought we had some other permissions. Oh well, server's coming down. How much is functional with housing? I haven't done it personally. I've seen the videos of Ollie doing it, so I haven't been in here to like kick it off. But Ollie's been working on furniture placement, and that includes like position within the housing, rotation, stacking rules. I've seen that on the floor. I have not seen that on walls yet. That's a good question. I haven't seen any clear. Ooh, I didn't drink my coffee. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any clear display of like interesting furniture properties, right? Like I haven't seen crafting stations, but based on kind of what they are and how they work, I assume if they're not already in, that's not going to be hard for us to put in. I haven't seen anything special in relation to like people owning taverns and that triggering like the buff. I haven't seen anything like weird or unique to shop ownership. So but everything's built kind of modularly, so it's essentially stuff that works in other settings will then work in the housing. Oh, there's Ollie. Darga just asked, the rights access in the UI you were just showing, is that mostly working to allow friends, guild members, and and such? Can you distinguish between visitors versus co-owners, able to edit things? Ollie said, eventually. Right now it's limited to public, not public, for the whole house. Right on, husband. Hey, Quixana. Thank you very much. If your house is public and you swap to private, will it boot anyone inside? It should. Ollie said, except adding co-owners and removing co-owners, the selling, trading, or relinquishing the house. You can't do those things if you're a co-owner. Let me see. Do I need to pull anything? Nimdork, thank you for the follow. What is it? What am I pulling? Oh man. I'm just gonna yawn the whole stream. Apologies. I've been thinking about for RP and immersiveness. Does Night Harbor have any bathrooms, or do you just go out and pee on it, find a tree? You just find a tree. Is that what the bathhouse is for? No, you're not supposed to be in the bathhouse. Nimdork said, glad to finally catch one of the streams. Glad you're here. Preparing for the final sleep, I guess? Me? Wow, that's dark. I'd turn 50 and just cash out. That'd be something. Yeah, I think the project's in a good position, like in a good place. If that happens, you guys will still be fine. Oh, I missed that above. And your name's Gray. I just... Coding Caffeine, I just assumed it was Lich. It was like Gray after Gray. I just saw what Lich had typed and I just assumed he was... Holy shit, I can't stop yawning. This just started. Wow, you guys are putting me to sleep. Jasmine's off all week, so that's kind of also thrown our schedule a bit. Ever see Logan's Run? I love Logan's Run. It's such a good movie. I've seen it so many times. I don't think Jasmine's seen it yet. I think we're looking for it back before we got Plex. I wonder if that can be found for us. Yeah, I love Logan's Run. Zukin said he's got it on his. Oh, nice. Maybe I need to tap into your Plex as well. Also, just added Flash Gordon. Dude, that's a super good movie. I remember first watching that when I was like 9 or 10. I was just blown away by it. And the soundtrack is so good. It'll save every one of us. Dun 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 dun. Flash. I mean, what a time to be a kid. What a time to be a kid. Flash Gordon, Excalibur, so many cheesy 80s, like post-apocalyptic fantasy. I mean, and everything was also still practical effects, which just, it's got its own like vibe. Time Bandits, yeah, Time Bandits was so good. Conan 2. The animated stuff, right? Like Fire and Ice, Lord of the Rings. Or was it The Hobbit? Dragon Slayer, Kroll. A little bit later on, Lady Hawk. Heavy Metal. Whoa, that was a brain bender for a kid. Blade Runner's effects were cool. Yeah. I don't think I've watched the making of. Oh no, I've seen some of what they were doing, like some of how they like did the vehicles, but yeah, man. Brazil. So I mean, Time Bandits, Brazil, Baron von Munchausen, all of his movies. The He-Man movie? Was it with Dolph Lundgren? First of all, I don't know if you know this about Dolph Lundgren, but he's not Russian, he's Swedish, as the name indicates. And he's got like a PhD in chemistry or something. Mr. Black, 2236-2. Thank you for the follow. Let's look him up. Dolph Lundgren. Grin. Dolph Lundgren. He's got a master's in science and engineering in MBA in economics. Oh no, that was his dad. Where'd Dolph? Lundgren was awarded a Fulbright scholarship to MIT in 1983. But instead of doing that, he got hired by Grace Jones as a bodyguard and became her lover. No, I guess he actually did go to MIT at some point. Wild. Let's see. How old is he now? I'm scrolling up. He's 67. Sometimes he sits still and I think the stream's frozen. Yeah. Sorry about that. I may fall asleep tonight. John said, so tall, decent looking, fit, smart, the anti-you. Oh, don't be a sad bear. Don't be a sad little bear, John. You got most of those qualities. I've seen you. Don't try to you're fishing for compliments. Are you not tall? I thought you were a little bit taller. What's up, Generic? What's up, Werg? Pigosaurus, I didn't say hi when you came in. No, let's see if we get back in the game. What's up with my house? 5'10"? That's fine. Not longer and tall. Yeah, well, he's a freak of nature. He's huge. How tall was he? Do we still have it up? How tall are you, Dolph? His actual name's Hans Lundgren. Did it not list his height anywhere? Let's look it up. Yeah, see, John, that's why you gotta be nice to me. What's his height? Oh, he's 6'2". Okay, his peak height was 6'4". All right. Oh, another report's got him at 6'5". Fair enough. 6'5", 88 kilos. Well, that doesn't sound right. There we go. 113 kilos. That's more like it. Jason said, I'm Dolphite? Yeah, see, look at you. You giant you. I am not Dolphite. The human males in games supposed to be 6 feet? I think so. Yeah, like right at 6 feet. What MMORPG do I play when I'm at home? I am currently at home. I work from home. But if you're asking what do I play if it's not... what do I play that's not this? The last MMO that I played that's not Eminem is Pantheon. Oh man. Cat said I'm reverse dolph height. You're 5'6". How far have I gotten in Pantheon? Like level 10 or 11. I wanted to go back and roll a new character and just get it to level 10 in a different area. And had meant to do that recently, but my buddy that I wanted to play with was not available, and so I decided to do Eminem stuff instead. With the playtest coming up, I mean, my main focus is we're doing a lot of work out in Shaded Dunes, and it's like been working with the guys to corral that, and then just trying to do a bunch of other work. So let's, I think I've shown what I wanted to show here. Let's go back and let's add those sharks before I forget. Target said I played Pantheon hard for about a month, but I feel like I can't chill while playing it, mostly due to the higher APM combat. It's definitely a lot more active. Which is good. I mean, different strokes, different folks, right? I think if they continue to sort of lean into that and work with that style of combat, then that's great. I mean, you know, all the little things that differentiate our games are helpful. I may have to kill this and Restart. Corn Muffin asked, will only the 3 deep races have starting cities in the deep, or potentially trolls or lizardmen as well? The 3 deep races will have starting cities in the deep, or I guess I should say we'll have cities in the deep. And then the trolls are planned to be surface creatures, and as are the lizardmen. Is it Sierra Helix? Let me know if that's right. They said, thanks for the friendly streams and the fun game so far. Looking forward to the next playtest to run around as a goblin some more. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, Aaron Gunn. Should encounters vary? Some cozy, some a little more dire. Some pots have to keep your head on a swivel. Yeah, of course. I think, Bill, the way that we set things up, it's just inevitable that there are different encounters that have different feels to them. But there'll definitely be encounters where we focus pretty heavily on pushing certain feels. So that said, that still kind of works within a range. There's like there's sort of there's a relatively set range in terms of like our APM and the number of things that you can do. Now with some of the abilities that we have that are longer cooldown, kind of oh shit, playmaker type abilities, you have the opportunity to potentially burn more that you wouldn't typically in most encounters burn. But that comes down to just how Nick and the guys wind up setting up the classes at the end of the day. And so naturally different encounters can force that out of you, but Target said, I really like their portrayal of summoner spells though, actually summoning projectile objects and flinging them as an attack. Like I said, if I get back in, won't be this week, maybe next weekend. If my buddy's available next weekend, we'll pop in. I don't know. Maybe I'll play a summoner then. All right, so we're back in. Is the music too low? I turned it down earlier because it seemed like it'd be too high. I just turned it up a little bit more. Is it still low? Let's see. Bill said, I think dungeons would be more actions per minute, but is a cozy dungeon a bad thing? Again, I think it's really scenario based, right? Like there's probably a big difference between breaking a camp and maintaining a camp, for example. right? Like when you're getting, say you're having to actually break your way to a camp or move to a camp. It's not clear or whatever. So that's going to be a little bit more, depending on, I guess, your relative power or whatever. That may be a little more intense, a little bit more thinking involved. Breaking a camp, certain camps, probably a little bit more intense, a little bit more thinking. And then I think the rest of it, the way that it'll probably feel is going to be similar to EQ in that the group controls how stressful the session is or isn't, right? And it's, it may come down to certain camps, but for the most part, if I had to guess, a lot of the times it's going to be about getting in, breaking it, getting a nice rhythm set. Like once you've sort of got a nice rhythm on your respawns going, then you kind of relax into it. 20 said exactly. If you group with Panth, your group will be stressful. Yeah, depending on who your puller is, right? It's really going to be a question of like, what is that group's specific style and who's driving that? If you're with somebody that's like really wanting to be very sort of efficient with their time and pull a ton, then you're gonna have a more stressful session than some other people. So we can do something. I'm curious about the feign death success fail ratio in M&M. What are you striving for? That's a good question. Ask if Nick was on, you could ask him here, but since he's not, ask in our Discord. Roar. And then you can tag Nick. Shallow Shoals looks huge. How would you compare it to Shaded Dunes? Bigger, smaller? Much bigger. It's pretty big because, I mean, look, this one island here is essentially... Necrothread did have a discussion on Feign Death? Oh, okay. If you could direct Roar to that, maybe that'll help a little bit. So, I mean, this is just this one island here, right? Daniel just got from his nap, got some cheeses for a snack. Little dude came and shared with me. Nice. Your kids are great, dude. They seem like really big for their age. But I'm not like a kid expert. They seemed much older. They're bigger than other kids their age typically. Yeah. That's what we thought, man. Where do we have a good range here? 770, fishing village. Alright, so I'll just go up to 800. So 800. Let's make a new NPC. Zukin, I have an outfit that on an NPC that I like. But it's like semi, I don't know if it works. I guess I could get your opinion on it. If we had the ability to tint like the base layer the undies, then I think it would be a tight outfit. Right now, without that ability, it's a little suspect. I don't want to give away the location, but maybe I can just go to her. Yeah, Swanee, that's what I was saying. Like, I thought they did really well for all the traveling and stuff that they were doing. They seem like real troopers. Aquamador says, or asks, so is this the starting area? I haven't really stayed up to date. Nope, this is just an adventure area out here. I could summon the NPC, but they... Yeah, you know what? Let me see if one's up. Yeah, I'd have to summon her anyway. All right. Think you could probably set up undies as an outfit, and that way they'd override it and LARP how you want it. Okay, we might have to do that then. So let me summon the one that's not here. Let me get on eye level. Dargith. Yeah. Dargith's reading file names or entry names. There we go. Black undies or black bra? No bra needed. Black undies would be good. Yeah, somebody just went running by. I don't know that I like the whole mysterious name. I went with that not necessarily because it's going to be like a big secret or anything. You'll find out who they are as soon as you kill one and you get a faction hit. But the faction name like is just it's too long, right? So like coming up with a good descriptor, I just kind of cheesed out because I was pretty fried earlier. They're meant to be bald. How about a sussy priestess? Zenfar, I'll consider that one. Nope, they're not vampires. I will definitely tell you that. I'm not even going to read it out. I'm just not even going to read it, chat. Just not going to read it. They kind of remind you of Iridites and EQ for some reason. Because they're bald and pale. All right, so let's go. Let's get back to business. Oh. The area is so big that I don't know that we're going to have like... I don't know that we're going to have spawn volumes that cover the entire... I think even with massive volumes, we'll have to break it up, right? So like if we start at 800, let's go ahead and create ourselves... let's find a... existing serpent. Oh man, we have a faction that's named... That's right. We'll start here with this guy. Let's think of a good level range. Let me look at a map of this place again and think what's fair level range wise. Will you be able to play in here during the playtest? Absolutely. That's part of why I'm trying to get some mobs in here for you. This zone ranges, a little bit of a spoiler, from teens through like late 40s, with a lot of like teens, 20s, 30s content in here. So let's make ourselves a nice big volume. After we make this guy, we'll take this guy here. All right. Maybe I won't go fishing then there. Won't go fishing there then. I'd rather not have my goblin gulped up. Well, I mean, if you stay on the boat, you should be relatively safe until you get to somewhere, and then yeah. So level, we'll take this guy, we'll make him 18 for some reason. Make him 2, faction, snake. All right, this gets us started. We'll just use this really quick to play around. Bards and MMM play similar to EQ. Yeah, I wonder if anybody's played a bard and can give you more info. I haven't really. Anybody in chat play a bard? More spoilers. Don't look. Corbett plays one poorly. Quixana said yep. Swanee said bards are super fun. So if you have questions, they can answer them for you. NPC spawn group. We'll just put a quick one in here. I'm getting to the point where sometimes I don't want to show you tables because I'm like, what else am I going to spoil tonight? Jeez. Frickin' Dargith. I'd have as well. Be clipping the VOD later. Thank you. All right. Well, you guys discuss that. I'm gonna try to actually do at least one thing tonight. Aqua said, so chat, I have a friend on board who wants to try this out with me. What's a good class for someone who never played this type of game? Idafab said pet classes are pretty easy for new people. Corn Muffin said my wife's never played this type of game before and she loved Elementalist. Why am I doing that there? Stay away from tanks. They get blamed for everything in groups, and if you're new, it's a lot of pressure. Is it true when you inspect Asliel, the mud responses, you notice a small tattoo on the lower back? You're trying to say I have a tramp stamp? Once we have sharks in game, then I think I'm gonna make a placeholder for sharks, and then that way I just swap the model out later. Make this height a little bit smaller so that maybe they won't be climbing up all over the rocks and stuff. Would not recommend starting as a Wood Elf Bard in the next test. Yeah, if you're new, don't start in the Elf Town, is what people are saying. Aqua said, thanks guys, I'll pass all the info to her. We're going to figure out what to play together so we can have some chill adventures. Don't want to overwhelm her the first time around. I think the bigger thing, I'd be less worried about the class, to be honest, and more about just helping her acclimate to getting in. Hey, Dark Inside, it's a Mike. Thank you for the follow. But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be important for you to help her with the controls, learning how to talk to NPCs without getting killed. Why do you think Inquisitor is the least played class on last stress test? Dobbs, Inquisitor tends to be the least played class in every stress test. Have you thought about having new characters spawn with their trainers? Don't want to do that. At that point, like, no. No, not into it. Or maybe closer? No. Nah, it's nah. I don't know, I think it kind of kills the vibe. You know what I mean? Like, plus it's like it kills the vibe, and it starts us down like a bit of a slippery slope. I mean, it's a fair question. It's absolutely a fair question. It's just a it was funny, at some point in EQ, I remember we moved the players to spawn in front of the trainers. I forget when that was. And people still just immediately like spawned, turned, and ran off. Right? It didn't change much. What do they actually do? The Inquisitors seem like a magic tank type. So it's like a enchanter tank hybrid. I don't know that it's a I don't necessarily know that it's a indication that people have played it and don't like it. I think it's more of an indication that people aren't familiar with it and tend to gravitate towards the things they are familiar. Have you decided if Bard's going to be able to wear better armor than leather, and if so, when could that be put in game? I don't know that. I haven't heard that discussed behind the scenes, so. Last time I heard Bard armor being discussed was forever ago. I saw you guys talking about in Discord recently. Can it be discussed? It can absolutely be discussed. I'm telling you, it hasn't been recently. Let's see. G. Willikers said, Aqua, if she's really new, it might be useful to have the Eminem quick start guide ready. If so, it's on their website. I think that's a good point. That's very good advice. Here's the link. Where are we at with these? Oh, this is interesting. All right, they're in there. Where am I? Oh, I see him now. Let's see. There's a good discussion on this in Discord a long time ago. You can actually sneak well on almost anything. My argument is they're rogues, not assassins. Sneaking around is an aspect of their class, not their entire function. Bards should only wear paper. Thanks, Sean. John's gonna help stir the pot for us. Let me find... I really want to see an underwater wisp. Hey, what's up, Quatos? These guys are huge. Let me go find one. Will-o-wisp here. Duplicate. SHS. A water wisp. And cool. Grab this guy, throw him on the encounter table. And just see if it looks weird. Guys are still talking about bards wearing plate. Yeah, I'm not going out of the way to give my thoughts on the bard armor thing here. I would like to present my case to the court behind the scenes. Server's coming down in 60 seconds. Oh man. I swear I was in here all day without the server coming down, and now it's like stream time. Server's coming down. Alright, so on the upside, when we come back in, the wisps should be in here as well, so we can see if they look weird. It's been a long day of staring at the computer screen. My eyes are killing me today. Let me see if I've got a pull latest after this update. I know it goes against everything MMO, but I always thought of bards as cloth / leather wearers, fashion over function. Brent said. Gameplay has to be a factor. Corbin said, well, of course gameplay has to be a factor. I think it'll be a fun discussion to have behind the scenes and talk about talk about how much of it's based off of pre-built expectations from like EQ versus the actual balance of what they're capable of versus and how armor actually factors into that versus people weighing in based on aesthetics or RP. Zukin said power went out for a bit, back now. You know what? That's one thing I'll definitely say about living in Germany. It's been rare that we have like random power outages. Question, because I don't think I've heard anything. Any plans for a display slot? Like no stats, but it looks like no plans for that. Our item slots are our item slots. Who knows if that's one of those things we eventually sort of capitulate like years after 1.0 or whatever, but remove the shirt slot? No. Hey, what's up, Rex? Quato says, I like the fashion tied to armor, and you may have to sacrifice stats for best in slot fashion. Yeah. Will you have nipple ring slots? 12th Night asked. Asking the important questions. Why is it only... Why would we only... If we're gonna add nipple ring slots, why wouldn't we add more slots? Why just that? True, but if you add more nipple slots, then maybe there needs to be... If you add nipple ring slots, there needs to be more nipples. Yeah, but then that's probably like... I mean, it doesn't require extra modeling, but... Druids have more nipples. This is true. That's a fair point. When you're in wolf form, 6 more slots appear. I tried to set my chair up so that I would be more upright today instead of slouching. It sucks. I'm going back to slouching. The whole sitting upright thing. Speaking of tails, sounds like we need those playable ratmen. Can never have too many tails. Listen. Friend. Bro. Listen, bro. No, it's not Wednesday, it's Monday. But I'm gonna be gone Wednesday and I didn't stream Friday, so... I'm just watching you guys continue to debate the what is it still armor? Is it still bard armor? Do you think we'll see Shaded Dunes on Friday? I'm getting hyped. It'd be nice if we were able to show off Shaded Dunes on Friday. A lot of work's been done, but it's not 100% yet, so. Oh, we gotta rename this guy. Oh, don't worry about it. I know what you meant. About to drown? I can't drown. There we go. Will backpacks have goblin and gnome slots on them? Sometimes you just want to hitch a ride. Maybe. Imagine ogres have to reserve a bag slot so they can carry a gnome. That'd be cute, right? That'd be quirky. I want to go to one that's deep in the water. What's Zukin gonna do? The snakes work in this shallow water. Probably need to move the wisps out to deeper water. The reflection's great. They kind of break down at this size, so maybe let me make them smaller. Is it really a water wisp if it isn't underwater? No, that's why I'm saying they need to be moved to a deeper location. But first, let's go find one that's actually deep in the water and see if it works before we make the effort of giving them their own specific box. That said, it's really cool seeing them above the water. Like the reflection? They may not be swimming properly. That may be the thing that it may be similar to what I saw with some of the goblins earlier. Have you seen the fairy thread on Discord? If so, what are your thoughts? What's the fairy thread on Discord? I don't think I've seen it. Was it where people were talking about how much they... Oh, there we go. They like the fairy models in EQ2? I played it. I had a little emo looking fairy dirge in EQ2. Yeah, no plans for a playable fairy anytime soon. I mean, we've got so much other stuff to do first. When we hit 1.0, then I guess it could be a question. Yeah, I think, I don't know. Don't think it looks bad. Is it not reflecting light on the ocean floor? It seems very faint in here. I wouldn't go any bigger than they are now, Bill. They already sort of break down at twice the size. I think I'll probably just save these guys for a certain spot. I have an idea of like where we could use them, but I don't know. Play with it. Talk to you guys, and I'd actually if you got to see the nameplate before you see the creature, it usually doesn't feel as exciting to explore it. Yeah. But that's not the case here, is it? Seems so underwater. It could be, but again, like I said, something, you know, something looks off underwater. So that's something we can just look at. So But like this guy's underwater. I think it's got something to do with the camera underwater. It's not a necessarily a mob thing. It's just the limited draw distance, or in this case, I think it was just sort of the darkness obfuscating it. What is the answer? What has been the answer to the feedback that nighttime is too dark? The answer to date is that we're still working through our lighting. And so we'll accept more of that feedback once we've got lighting set up to where we're happy with it. But generally speaking, the feedback is also that no matter where we land, expect dark to be dark. Right? If dark is just kind of like, wow, oh, it's blue, then that's not really the goal. Dark's dark, light sources illuminate the dark. I'll be honest, like so far I like the wisps above the water just as much as I thought I would like them below water. So, and we'll play around. We'll see if we can make them glow a little bit more underwater or something, see if it holds up. I think these guys will look really cool in a swamp. There's also water in like Evershade, so wouldn't be shocked if we see some wisps there as well. Lich said, I know for that discussion we've been having regarding a class, race, innate traits. I know the current starting stats are placeholder, but have you guys stated one way or another if the starting stats for races are going to be different between them, such as ogres having higher starting stamina strength than a gnome? We haven't said anything definitive yet. Wonder what happens if we make these 1.5. I mean, to your question, Lich, I know that many of us like the idea of greater differentiation, right? We don't want races just to feel like a different costume that you're putting on, right? Like it's essentially they're all interchangeable except for the aesthetic. There's always the question of getting the balance right and making it so that you're not creating situations where there's just undesirables, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it feels like the differentiation is pretty important. Hey, Migs. Cool. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is... our gnomes and goblins here are going to be too short and have to surface for air, where other taller races will be able to stand without having a surface. Yeah, that's actually that's currently the case right now for me. So I'm running around as a human. Oh, actually, this isn't bad. But it really does kind of vary in different spots. So I was having to swim in a lot of the spots around here. Like, see right here where I'm swimming? So it just kind of dips down. It's variable. Like, I'm swimming here. So now I'm breathing out of my hat, apparently. Oh no, my head's out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take these guys. We're going to have the wisps only show up at night. Those wisps are wisps over the water are cool. Try putting a red wisp over the water. It might look really cool. I bet it will. I don't think I've made a wisp red before. And Zukin, if you're there, is that easy to do? No worries, it's no rush. I'm excited for you guys to find a couple of the islands that have been worked on. I'm hoping that, like, it may not seem like it during streams, because I'll be honest, when I'm, like I said at the beginning of the stream, when I'm trying to do like data work, I'm horribly slow on stream. And it's a weird combo because not only am I not chatting, I'm reading and not chatting, but I'm trying to focus on like the database, and fucking it's like the worst of both worlds. So that's why it's so often I'm either placing spawn points or like placing props or doing other stuff like that, or we're playing. It's just, it makes for a better stream. Or experimenting with stuff like this and killing time, but still fun for you? Okay, well, as long as it's fun for you and the folks watching the VOD. Will Levitate be in game at some point? Yeah, it'll be in. The plan so far is to have it be scaling in different ways so that you get you know, it's different levels of utility with it as it progresses. Yeah, so just put a fun island in, and it's got a few quests. It needs to be itemized, but there's some little quests, a little bit of storytelling for you guys. I think you'll like it. It's fun. We're getting to the point where there's stuff that it's like it's fun to work on the stuff while I'm not streaming, so that you're really not seeing it. How do you feel about turtles? I like turtles. There you go. Did that just for you, Corvid. Oh, you got me. You got me. What am I doing? I'm just kind of very casually placing some spawn volumes. Let me see. Did you ask what I think you asked, Bill? Want to discuss how to do rarity drop rate. Here. Is the name Jankalatito? Did I say that properly? All right, so we've got. Yeah, I mean, when you look how big this zone is, the idea of the number of mobs that you can populate just in big volumes like this is insane. So it'll probably be a little hit and miss. It'll be spread out quite a bit. Right, because if you look at the size of that volume, it's got 30 mobs spawning in it relative to this whole area over here, right? And then let's see, what does it look like frequency-wise, just given how big it is? I mean, this is the area. Got one. It's funny, his head just kind of pokes up. Once we've got the sharks in, we'll put them out in a bit deeper water. All right, so far I see one. Oh, it's such a weird bug. What's up, Phenomenal? Look, I just click on it, does this shit. What in the world? What? Oh my god, it's eating my whole screen. Time to move to Unreal. No, we're gonna save that until like June. June's when we have the big Unreal announcement. We're like, sorry guys. It's like ripples look great in shallow water. Yeah, the water shader is a lot of fun for this. All right, so supposedly there's 30 of these guys in this area. It's just such a huge area. All right, so the rocks. That's kind of the edge. Did Robert work on siren music? He has not worked on siren music so far, no. See if we can see him better here. Yeah, I think I've got to reload the zone again because it's still got some wisps showing up during the day here, and I think that's maybe eating into the count. So can't wait to see swamps and jungles. Yeah. There's so many different biomes that I'm excited to see. One of the dungeons that we're working on, I think, is really going to delight you guys a fair bit. It'll be different than stuff you've seen to date. Simon's been working on that one. Looking forward to the snow biome. So am I. Seems like you may see snow before swamp. I would say it's very likely you'll see snow before swamp. That's just because there may just be some sneaky snow. All right, so they're in there. Oops, shit. Speaking of dungeons, will that Flying Citadel be in for early access? No. No plan for that. They're meant to be something you learn about a bit later. Will we have items like Tigger's Mask and what was Abashi's called? Was it Rod of Abashi or Staff of Abashi or whatever? I forget what Abashi's item was actually called. Rod of Disempowerment? That makes sense. Oh man. Almost told it in a semi inappropriate story. Do you have plans to allow moon exploration in the realm of the gods? I don't know if those things necessarily go together. Kung Fu Pao, thank you for the follow. Oh, you saw each moon was named after a god? Nope, the names of the moons are just, it's their name. I see what you mean now. Any fun teasers for Rangers? Nope. I hope if player housing is a thing, there will be a nice beach house in the zone. Because that's the one I'll definitely be living out of. You can actually, players can rent out all the structures on one island in this zone. Hey, Matthias. Yeah, there's an island right over there. Right kind of at the top of the screen where there's no orange there. And that's going to be player housing. You can set up your own little village. Need to name it. You guys get to name it. Can we build catapults on the property and fire fish guts and stuff onto other people's places? Not yet. You keep that as a stretch goal for later. You already submitted your name for the player islands? Well, it's going to be a thing where you're going to have to you guys will just name it in the community. Maybe we'll put a little voting system in or something on it. We'll start adding. Next thing you know, we've got like a full node system. There'll be a voting system. We'll be cribbing all our ideas off AOC. Shouldn't the name change based on who's in control yet? What are you using for multiplayer? Separate standalone game server? Gamer. We have. Well, actually, I don't know if that's still true. That's a great question for Ollie in our Discord. It is a everything is played on a separate server, yeah. It's not peer-to-peer or anything like that. I feel like I'm either missing the obvious and will feel bad, because then you'll be like, WTF, how are these guys actually making a game? Or I'm misunderstanding your question. Or wait, was that both the same thing? No, I think those are two separate things. We're using magic. No, you're all good. I want to know, since I personally don't think any networking solution that runs inside Unity itself would handle anything close to an MMO. Again, I don't want to misspeak. Like a year ago, if you would have asked that question, I had like a whole spiel lined up, because people were asking the question a lot. In the first, I think in our first 3 years, there's a lot of questions about how we're handling the server setup and like our networking and everything. I can say that, to the best of my knowledge, at this point, we've basically got a proprietary setup. I know that only because we did actually name our technology. It has a very commercial name. We were discussing that in the last stream. We've named our server tech Silky Johnson. And I don't remember what the anagram stands for, but just so you have a better understanding of the level of sophistication that we're operating on behind the scenes, I will go ahead and tell you the name that Nick came up with for the networking layer. I'm spacing on the word right now. What is it when multiple letters form, like NASA? What's the word for like a word like that, like scuba? Because scuba is one as well, right? Gamer, thank you for the follow. Acronym. Okay, an acronym. So so just so you know the kind of people we are, and maybe I shouldn't make this public, but it's too late. It's too late. At this point, I think you guys are already starting to figure it out. And many of you still come back, you still like us. So Silky Johnson is the server tech, and then we have the anagram, and it's specific scientific terms. But it's hard for me to remember the terms because it's tech. I'm not a tech guy really. That's why I hang out with smart people like Ali and the rest of the crew. But I remember the letters are D, O, N, G, and it's got something to do with the networking layer. But it's like it's science. I don't remember exactly what it does. Do you remember that one? Did we discuss that one already? So that is that's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at with our technology. Redorana, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Gamer, on a more serious note, if you have any questions about the server tech or what we're doing with networking, blah blah blah, hit us up in Discord. If you search Discord, you'll find some discussion of it. We're very open about that stuff. As Ollie has time, or the other guys have had time, they're more than happy to answer questions. Or we've had people that are working on other games come in and be like, hey, I'm trying such and such for my game. I'm running into problems. And we're not like, we don't see game development as like a zero-sum exercise by any means. So anything we can do to help, right? Like if you're just kind of interested, that's cool. It's always, cool to run into people that are just kind of interested in stuff. But if if there's a specific reason why you want to know, definitely don't be bashful. How many on our dev team? There are 30 of us. which I think is, you know, sometimes I think that's more than people expect, but yep, there are 30 of us. Team page is probably up to date if you go to our website, team page. Corvid, yeah, I think, you know, it may be a stretch, but Jurger said I'd actually be interested in how an MMO handles networking. It's hard enough making small lobby-based multiplayer games. Yeah, it's I mean, it's the reason why we have the stress tests and stuff, right? It's definitely not. It's not a given that stuff just works. Any videos of Spellblade gameplay around or too early? I don't know that I've seen any videos of Spellblade gameplay. Specifically, there's probably something that somebody's put together out there. We haven't assembled anything like that. Like we haven't curated anything. Nicodemus, back to your question actually. Maybe I can hit that really quick. So, Bill, are you asking in terms of like drop rate philosophy or how do you actually implement it? Hey, Ciderip. Ranga TV, did I already say thanks for the follow? Yes, sir. If I have a group of items, one chance to drop any of them, but there's a chance it may not drop any of them. There is a chance that it may not drop any of them. How do I add a small piece to dead funds? We're not taking any cash until we go into early access. At which point you can get a subscription and that'll be how you help us out. For now, the main thing you can do is just tell people about the game, share the, you know what? Not just tell people about the game, but share the guide, quick start guide. Help people understand what they're getting into when they get in. All right. So Bill said, "How do I make one of the items a rare drop?" Do you? I mean, but you know how to set up like a item table, right, Bill? I want to like see if I can find something that's not too spoilery. Make the guided PDF openable in game. Yeah, we'll probably do something similar to that in the future. What percentage did you have set up for your drop chance, Bill? I'm trying to find like an example that's that I can show that's not too weird. I could have been really common, 50%, uncommon, 25%, rare, 10. There would be a 15% chance an item did not drop. Let me... So we'll do this, drop chance, 50%. Let me see if I understand the question. There would be a 15% chance an item did not drop. So that's actually a good question on this. So if you got it set up so that there's a, I don't know, 15% chance to drop. See you, Swanee. Thanks, buddy. And let's see, duplicate row with keys, and then there's so you've got this table, and to the best of my knowledge, the way that it works is they're independent roles, and it doesn't require basically there doesn't need to be a fourth item in this, right? Like you don't have to have like a separate thing that like explicitly creates the empty slot. Like the way that encounter tables used to work, like back in the day, was it had to add up to 100. But like drop rates are just rolls. And so you get and we'd have to confirm with Ollie that there's not like any weird trickery or whatever, because there's no ID order here. So it's not something where we're specifically where there's like an ID where it says roll this one first, that one second, etc. So I'd be curious. It's a good question. Be curious to ask Ollie how it runs through them. Yeah, so it's rolling each one of these individually, right? So in this case, we've got this here. Kodama Classic, thank you for the follow. And this is our loot table item group. And then we're going to associate that with an NPC loot table. Again, let me... Cool. And then we bring it over here, right? So... when we make that association, it's going to, we can define how many rolls that actually has, and whether or not it rolls in advance or rolls only on death. And then we've also got different conditions that may manipulate the rolls, right? And we use this for things like, we use this for, crap, what do we wind up calling them? The conditional drops, right? So that's where this originated. So like the buff conditions, I think, came with conditional drops. And so that's kind of how we hack things like the shattered femurs and other quest items. So in this case, we've got a 15% chance and a 50% chance, and if we only have one roll, right? Like so in this case, it'd just be one count. It's gonna roll, and we're gonna roll this one. 85% chance that you don't get it, so it probably so at that point oh, that's a great question, actually. I wish Ollie was still here, because if these don't have a defined order, then I'm wondering if in code, if it rolls and says, okay, nothing happened, roll again, because there's another item on here, nothing happened, then it's done rolling, right? Even though it says once. So is that one count for a successful roll? Or is it a one count for essentially the list, and if it doesn't hit on the first thing, then it peters out? Because that would be interesting then to know, like, what order is it rolling in? I wonder if Ollie's still around. He's probably asleep at this point. Is count a round of rolls? I think it's a round of rolls. Matthias, I think it's a round of rolls, but I'm actually going to write this question down so that we can confirm it. Because I think that's the way that I've been thinking of it is basically it'll roll everything on the table until it either runs through the whole table, not the table, sorry, everything on that HID, until it runs through everything on that HID and gets a hit, or it's run through everything. Maybe somebody else on the team knows though, so let me ask. There are some of them with 4 counts that does have a more robust item, robust loot table. In that case, it's I'd say it's maybe a little bit more robust, but it's also kind of like throwaway items with multiples that you can get, like so like 2 bone chips. You know, or up to like 4 bone chips or whatever else is on there. So having additional rounds would make sense for increased drop rates. Yeah. Let me ask. Somebody on the team may know. Rolling through. New item table group. Does it roll for each item on the specified HID? Sort of quote round. Until it hits a successful roll or completes the round. So when we're rolling through a loot item table group, because I think that's the way I've always pictured it, is it's just gonna roll for, it's gonna roll, because to me that's the only way it makes sense really, is it would roll for the first one, no hit, okay, roll again, next one, no hit, okay, done rolling. Or rolls first one hit, done rolling. Okay. We're rolling through the item table group. Does it roll for each item on the specified HID as a sort of round until it hits a successful roll or completes the round? And does this for... Then does this for each count specified in the NPC loot table item group. Well, there's Ollie. Ollie! I was just asking a question. Okay, Ollie said robot with loot drops. It's not a guaranteed drop. If you roll a null, it will skip the drop. So, okay, in this case, using this example, Ollie, we have two items here. One's got a 15% chance, one's got a 50% chance. It rolls the first one, and nothing happens on the 15. Does it roll the 50 as well before calling it a day? Here, I can also... I'm gonna shoot you a DM with what I was gonna... In this example, it's one roll. It rolls from a 100. 1 through 15 gives you the lasso. $16 through 65 gives you lasso silk, lasso hemp. Whoa, okay, well, So, but what if it was this way instead? Oops. What if it was, so then what if the first one is, all right, but then, so, but that changes the probability. Or does it? Oh no, you're right. It's, yeah. It's still one roll. It doesn't matter. You're right. It's still one roll. It's still one roll. Yeah, it just, that kind of tweaked my brain for... Okay, no. This is why Ollie checks my math. Okay. So then all the items need to add to 100? Oh, Ollie, what happens if I do this? Does it just expand the roll size? So what if I do... What if I do that now? So example for Bill is now a group. It does not expand. So what happens here? Does it, because it also lets me do it though. This will give an unexpected result. The leftover probabilities are discarded. But does it shave off the third one then? Does it have like a specific read order? Because we were talking about this before. There's no ID here to like specifically define the order. In theory, it shaves off the third one. But you can't guarantee order. What would be variables that change the order though? Like item ID alphabetization? Is that a word? Alphabet. Fuck. I'm losing my English. Kodama, thank you for the follow. In this case, it's order that MySQL gives to the server. Speaking of earlier, Gamer had a question about our server. I told him to hit you up in Discord with questions. Okay, don't worry. I never do this. I wouldn't make something more than 100. That would weird me out. I'm so used to like back in the day the database yelling at me if I tried to make something like this more than 100. Okay, but I think we've answered Bill's question, and I've learned. Can make it yellow if you want. At some point, maybe we want to do a query and just see if there's any HIDs that add up to more than 100. The difference in counts, the counts is how many times it does that, Matthias. So how many times does it roll 100? It's multiple rolls. And Ollie, if that's not correct, don't even tell me. Hey, what's up, Skeletal and viewers? Okay, cool. All right. Cool. All right. Oops. Cancel editing. Delete. Ah! Cancel editing. Delete. Yes. Hey, Thorn Fox. Hey, first person. Cool. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. Was just trying Aaron Short. What'd you think? You're welcome, Bill. I'm glad you asked. I mean, it's good to get that clarity. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Working on getting that underwear sorted. Just need to fly in the mob and test it. Let's see if one's up. Enchantress. Yep. I think the other thing with Aaron Shore that's going to be interesting to see is like as like LLMs and AI and all that stuff get more powerful. I'd be curious to see what he integrates in there. So depending on their class, they have slightly different outfits on, but the Enchantress, we're just because you can see her underoos. We're just gonna like have them match the robe. That's what Zukin's helping with. Is this a bathhouse? No, it is not. Zukin, we're not able to tint the face markings, are we? Okay. Thanks, buddy. Face tattoo's only one color. Cool. That's what I thought. But this works. I gave her some white eyebrows, or gave them white eyebrows as well to kind of go with it. Cad, that is just silly. You're just being silly. I was thinking black, but I've Zukin, I was thinking black, but like I'm starting to kind of, I don't know. I think this is, I think the white actually looks pretty cool on him. Ollie said we currently have 11 drop tables over 100%. All right then. She needs a pointed hat. I think that may be leaning into her specific trope a little too hard. Since you guys have you were already peeking earlier. Yeah, I'm not going to run the query, but that's something that's worth posting in design probably, Ollie, and then we can get it fixed. Oh, thank you for the belt. I was going to ask about belts, Zukin, whether or not they should have belts because of that seam. Or is that something we're going to fix? Enchantress's belt popped up when I add the undies. I think it's an error in the loading system, the seam. Ollie said they're working on it. Awesome. If a player hands clothing to an NPC, will the NPC wear it? Nope, you can only hand weapons to pets, Ollie said. What are you guys talking about? Speaking of items on NPCs, is there a pickpocketing system? Not yet. Pickpocketing system. What are the chances my rogue can join a faction of cursed skeleton rogues so I can eventually turn into a skeleton rogue? I mean, it's not zero. I wonder... I wonder if there's an easy way to... We're checking on something for you guys. Hold on. Apologies for the radio silence. Ollie, if you're still there, I'm curious, as I'm looking at like just spawn volumes in this zone, a zone this big, does our total NPC count have that much of an impact given our sphere of influence system? That's a good question, Ollie says. Considering the density of Night Harbor and our performance there, I think it's not a consideration for any other zone. Because what I'm looking at is I'm looking at like the mob fields in here. Or potential mob fields in here for some of these guys just to give it a little bit of life, but I don't want to go plopping in a whole bunch of like 30, 20, 30, 50 mob fields in here and have them add up. The things that add to load are total number of mobs in a zone, density in specific places. Remember when we had that issue with go-tos not working across like spheres of influence? What about mob fields? How does that work? I said the reason why I say Night Harbor is a hellscape is because you can have 300 to 400 people at any said gate, with more than 300 to 400 in sphere of influence NPCs. as well as a lot of corpses. So you're replicating roughly 1,000 entities to over 400 clients. Yeah. Or 400,000 updates per update. Yeah. But and is it more costly? Um is it more costly to like filter that based off of so the SOI okay, before I move on to the next thing, see if you finish that. Yeah, I know you fixed the go-tos over the SOI problem, because that's the only reason why uh like I've seen it with the One Dragon's go-tos, and I've seen it with like Felix in Fallen Pass, who's got a very long go-to setup. But what about like what if this spawn volume spanned over more than one sphere of influence? Doesn't matter. Most spawn volumes already span over one sphere of influence. You mean like the bigger outdoor ones, right? Okay. One SOI unit's not that big. We just have a range greater than one. Okay. Ali Yushu's asked for a basic description of sphere of influence system. I can try while he's typing. Essentially, it's looking at it's creating a sphere of awareness that your client has, so that we're not having to replicate like all of the data that exists in a zone at all times for all clients. So if no PCs are in the area, they aren't active. I think that's that's not a separate question. I think that's a fair question. Ali said, it's a way to dynamically segment the zone for many purposes. Clients don't need to know stuff outside of that segment. NPCs also don't need to know what's outside of their SOI because they have no chance of being influenced by it. And the response to the them not being active question was, they're active. We just don't need to update their positions to any PCs. It's a fair question, but it's not related. SOIs are not only distance based. Things in combat with each other are always in each other's SOI. Party members and their combatants are always in your SOI, etc., etc. Yeah, so there's like a logical thread there, right? Stuff that needs to be aware of each other. Davion, 177069. Was that on purpose, or is that like a random? Was that? Because that's actually a funny name if that was intentional. It's also funny if it was unintentional. Was that just randomly generated? It was on purpose? That's a great name. Oh man, continuing the theme. This is like my Friday stream just pushed to a Monday, so I got a little bit of casual Friday going on. 177069. I just heard that in Alex Jones's voice as well. That's hilarious. Wow. Give me a little tear in my eye. We can also occlude SOIs, so you can't see into that boss room by sniffing our packets. And Yushi says I would never sniff a packet. Yeah, there are definitely some filthy cheaters out there. Thankfully, we know some of the better ones. All right, so that allays some of my concerns, Ollie. So when we get in here, I'm not going to be doing any work for the next 3 days. I actually won't be out of town. I'll only be like 15, 20 kilometers away, but my wife found a really cool little like camp of small tiny houses or whatever out where there's a little bit of hiking and just kind of a out of the way chill spot. So for my birthday we're gonna go there and just hang out for a few days, listen to some audiobooks. I think they've got like a little campfire place or whatever. No airsoft this trip, Nicodemus. But yeah, so we'll do that. I think I'll be back Friday. In time for a stream, we'll see. March is loaded with birthdays. Yeah, what? Go back 9 months? What month is that? Audiobook recommendations. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm actually, it's funny, speaking of 1776, we're listening to this audiobook at the moment, and I want to continue to listen to it with my wife because she's German, so it's kind of cool for her to hear the story. The audiobook we're listening to is Jeff Shara, Rise to Rebellion. Hope you guys get to do airsoft again. I enjoy the war stories. Oh, in May we're going to an airsoft event / festival. It's called Dark Emergency. It's 3,000 people. So in a couple months. Dungeon Crawler Carl is awesome. I'll put it on the list since you guys are recommending it. Dungeon. But yeah, so this is a book that we're listening to. I've listened to it a couple times. It's really good. It's about the American Revolution. Really solid. It's 2 parts. So there's Rise of Rebellion, and it is followed by The Glorious Cause. It is so it's non-fiction, but there is like it's historical fiction. Yeah, okay. And they're really, really solid. So the backstory is that his dad wrote kind of kicked off the historical fiction craze. Michael Shira wrote the Killer Angels back in the day. And then he followed in his father's footsteps. And did, yeah, like Gods and Generals, Last Full Measure, blah blah blah. So, but I really enjoyed Rise of Rebellion a ton. And it's got so much great information and really covers the details. So I think it's fun for Jasmine to learn. By the way, I can't not plug our friend Redbeard Flynn writes historical fiction and American Revolutionary. No shit. I didn't realize it was there. How did I miss that? I definitely have to check those out. Cool. All right, just confirmed. Before we get out of here, I wanted to let you guys know that we are running a stress test on Saturday. This coming Saturday. And we'll get more information out ASAP on it. So, but wanted to give you guys more heads up. I'm sorry, Matthias. I know a few of you are always working on Saturdays. The last one we ran during the week wasn't ideal for most people. So, Saturday for how long? I'm not sure. So, since I won't be streaming on Wednesday because I'll be out, quasi camping, figure let you guys know now. Yeah, just check our Discord. Those of you that aren't in our Discord, you really should be. Gonna have to return your new puppy for a stress test. Don't even joke. Ollie said his guess is that it'll probably be a 4 to 5 hour stress test, or maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour actually stressing Night Harbor with maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour of actual stressing of Night Harbor in the beginning. Cool. You know what? On that note, I think I'm going to wrap up for tonight because it's almost 11. And oh, nice. Thank you for the link, Ollie. Rise, Birth of a Revolution. That's nice. Cool. Yeah, actually, I look forward to checking that out. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up for tonight. I hear Jasmine milling about in the kitchen, so I'll probably hop out there, check with her. We'll sleep in a little bit tomorrow, and then we'll head out to our little campsite and be there for a few days. I'll keep an eye on Slack and Discord and stuff. Goblin said he's almost done with the Vertex Paint Pass on everything in Shaded Dunes. So maybe by the stress test you'll see it. Oh, that'd be really cool. All right, so I'm gonna say my goodnights and then I'll pop off. So thank you, Bill. I will see you Friday or Saturday. Saturday is the latest. Dozakar, see ya. Idafab, see ya, buddy. M. Kevin, later. Nimdork, see ya. Yeah, I'm excited you guys are excited about Saturday. Matthias, have a good one. Thanks, Davion. Aaron Gunn, good night. See ya, Zukin. Thanks for the help, and thank you for the birthday wishes. Doggeroni, thanks. See you on Saturday. Brent Copeland, see you, buddy. Quick 44, thank you. MMO Pug, see ya. Night Ollie, thanks for everything. See you, Shoes. Corbin, thanks for being here. Quatos, appreciate it, buddy. Dan Leon, you're very welcome. Good night, Talet. Ignore the noise in the backgrounds. I won't get lost in the woods. The woods aren't pretty crazy here. Cool. Nimdork, see ya, buddy. Zachary. Tsunami-san, good night. See ya. Thank you, Goblin. Thanks, Trexid. Flintlock. Appreciate it. Rory, you're very welcome. All right, on that note, I'm just going to click the button and get out of here. I will see you guys Friday, Saturday at the latest. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys being here. Thanks for hanging out despite kind of a I don't know. The stream picked up at the end. A little bit of tech discussion, but yeah, man. Everybody watching the VOD, take care. And yeah, I will see you guys Friday or Saturday.